My hunt continues for dream homes and dream locations across Italy. Today, I'm answering your question. Where in Tuscany can you still find amazing turnkey homes at reasonable prices? I've already found the town, Castiglione Fiorentino, which we visited back at the beginning of the year. Just gorgeous. And I found the homes. We're touring 3 of them today, menu style. An antipasta home to whet our appetite, a first course on the countryside, and a satisfying 3rd course right in town. Andiamo.
Italy is a country where it's harder to find bad food than it is good. However, there are times when the food in some restaurants stand out above the rest. The best meal that I had this year was with you on the channel last time I was in Castiglione Fiorentino, La Piana. So this is a channel first. We're returning to a restaurant, but it's different this time because they've changed up the menu. We're here in the summer and not the winter, and so summer dishes are on the menu. And it also means that the terrace is now open. So it's basically a whole new experience.
Quali sono gli ortaggi di stagione adesso?
Vabbè, le melanzane che trovi in un paio di piatti e le zucchine, ci sono i peperoni, il pomodoro che è il re, insomma, dell'estate alla fine.
I cavalli di battaglia.
Esatto,
no,
sì,
esatto,
sì,
della
sì.
cucina italiana.
Va bene, io guarda, faccio menù completo, quindi antipasto, primo, secondo.
Sì.
Grazie.
Prego. Mousse di pecorino, pomodorino confit, zucchine marinate e pane carasau.
So this is our antipasto, very light, very salad-like. Pane carasau is actually typical of Sardinia. Obviously we have the fresh garden vegetables of the season, zucchini, tomatoes, and some cheese. Not much better than this on a hot day like today. So it's a ricotta of pecorino, and therefore it has the intense flavors of a pecorino cheese, but it's fresher, it's creamier, really blends itself perfectly with the vegetables and the crunch of the pane carasau. So as I finish off my appetizer, let's go see the first dream home. All right, so this home that we're seeing is located in an area of Castiglione Fiorentino known as the Val di Chio. So we're in a valley, and you can see that it's a beautiful valley, very rustic, very green, composed mostly of wooded forests up on rolling hills, and in the valleys and plains, olive groves and vineyards with country houses spotted here and there with some streams flowing through. A true countryside paradise. And the atmosphere here in the summer is just magical, magical. The property that we're seeing is on the other side. These are your neighbors. So this is your neighborhood, let's say, and this is the gravel road coming up to your property, and you can already see this is the atmosphere that we have here.
Do you also dream of daily life in Italy and going to your neighborhood restaurant? Well, to make that dream a reality, you need to learn Italian. And there's no better way to learn than by having fun. Nowadays, you're not limited to traditional book and pen methods. LingoPie, today's sponsor, is a totally unique concept for improving your language skills. It's basically Netflix with inbuilt tools to help you learn a language. You study by watching real movies and TV from the country of your target language. Personally, I've been having fun using LingoPie to brush up on my French, which has gotten a bit rusty over the years.
So I'm going to watch this fun show called Louis the 28th or Louis le 28e.
LingoPie gives you live dual language subtitles and a full transcript while you watch. Whenever you hear a new word, you can click on it to get the meaning and pronunciation.
Vous nous reconnaissez.
This automatically adds the word to your study list, which you can review later on. There's also a built-in AI function which explains the grammar concepts being used in the video you're watching. I really enjoy using LingoPie. It's a practical way to immerse yourself in a language and learn from real usage. You won't even feel like you're studying. So check out LingoPie by clicking on the link in the description below to have a 7-day free trial and an exclusive discount upon signing up. Highly recommended.
So we'll walk around and I'll give you a bit of the characteristics of the home. We're talking about a home which its price is 230,000 euros is the asking price. The inside is 234 square meters, divided in two different one bedroom apartments, both very well sized. And the really stunning part about the property that makes it so interesting, I think, is its agricultural vocation. So we have a parcel of 7,000 square meters of land, of which we have 100 olive trees, which are productive and from which you can make olive oil, and various other features which I'll walk you through now. We'll start on the outside, then go to the inside. So here is where the property starts on the outside, let's say, outside of the shared space. We have parking spots where we parked our cars and some of the olive trees belonging to the property. And then walking up around the side of the building, starting here, if you wanted to, you can build a gate, because this is the exclusive part of your property. On the other side there, we have oil, so it's you have a well, you fill it up with oil, and we have different counters, so different readers for each one of the apartments, so you can have separate readings if you want. And so it's an apartment where you can rejoin the two properties if you wanted to make it like a bigger home. But if you wanted to rent one out and live in one, it's nice to have, you know, that feature of two different readers. Wood oven. So this is where you open it up, you can make your bread, get your flour, grind it, make your nice country loaf of bread here. Each apartment has one. This is apartment number 1 and apartment number 2. So this is the property. You can have a look here. So this is the facade of it. So you come up the stairs into one side, up the stairs into the other side. This was renovated not a long time ago, and the finishings are kind of reflect the high quality of renovation that was done, maintaining its country characteristics. So we'll see that on the outside as well as on the inside. And not only do we have 2 apartments, but we also have various cantine, so cellars. We have various stalls, which would have been used for animals, and an annex. So I'll start with the annex. This is a beautiful stone annex of 40 square meters. And in here, it's where they currently process the olives to make olive oil, where you have the laundry room, and where you store, you know, your agricultural tools. And on this side is where we have the main part of the terrain. And so everything that you see where it's been mowed is part of this parcel. Up there on this side, down on this side, and all the way there in the back is where we have at least 95 olive trees. The other 5 to 10 were on the other side, which get harvested, you know, at the beginning of the fall, October, November, depending on the season. Get them, produce your own local olive oil. And so this is a property where I think it really makes sense for that person who wants not only that country feel, but wants to have a little bit of that, you know, agricultural production, that real hands-on experience of living on the Italian countryside. Not only do you have that, you also have grapes growing. You have, this is a pear tree. Up here you can already see the pears are starting to grow. These will be ready normally in around September. And then on the other side, fig trees. So you have plenty of figs. You have it here, there, lots of figs, which are ready normally around August. These figs will be ready. So fig jam, fresh figs. Yeah, it's great. I love figs, I love fruit. These are where the stalls start, coming from here. So this was the house of the pig, right? So they would raise pigs here. And so obviously, you know, if you're a farmer kind of living off your land, you'd have your own pig. And, you know, you can make sausages, you can do, you know, what you would traditionally farmers would do with pigs. This is where his home would be. Oops. This, on the other hand, was the stall for the cow, and it was a beast of burden. So it wasn't a cow who gave milk, but they said he would live in here and he would help with the plowing. So, you know, before tractors would exist or were accessible at least, you know, they would have a cow, an ox, sometimes a horse or a mule drag the plow to kind of plow the land and help with that. And then down here on this side first, take a look at the detail. Beautiful stone walls. You know, we have this structure here of the wood being held up above this little balcony. But we have our wood oven number 2, where you can make your bread, your pizzas, your calzoni, whatever you want in your stone oven. Also, stews are great. You know, you cover them up with aluminum foil, you throw them in there. And then you have 2 cantine. So 2 cellars where you would hang your sausages, let them age, hang your cheeses, let them age, or store your wine or olive oil. Do that all down here. Let's now head into the property, so I'll show you the inside of each of them. Okay, so apartment number 1, you enter into what is the dining room space. This is the kitchenette with a sink. You have a window, you're washing your dishes, and you can look out onto the green behind you. And let me talk to you about the characteristics of the home, because you can already see we have the beam ceilings, we have the cotto tile floors. So a bit of those stylistic elements are here. So from walking into this space, turn the corner, and it gives you access to the bathroom. So each one of the units has obviously a full bathroom, shower, toilet, bidet, sink. This is where you have your boiler. And so it's where it's using the gas to kind of heat it up during the winter. And you have these radiators which are providing the heat. Whereas on this side, you have a very traditional Tuscan oven. And you can see the way Tuscan ovens are traditionally built are you have this wooden beam coming across the top. You have the triangular shape going up into the exhaust. And down at the bottom, you have, you know, bricks with a stone shape going around. They have these traditional wrought iron kind of holding points, because this is where you can hang up stews and you can heat them up from below. So you can see there's a bit of vent here. You know, you can store your wood under here, heat things up, and make nice winter stews. I know we're in the summer, but it's always nice to think about what you're going to be using the home, you know, how you'll be using the home throughout the year, right? So this brings you into the living room, let's say, and it's a living room, dining room. It's currently set up, right, that you have a table here in the middle, but I think you'd probably want to put a couch here and maybe dine there. Beautiful window looking out onto the front of the property that we saw coming in. And these stairs with these beautiful, I think beautiful, strips of wood coming down. So they're wooden stairs. We walk up. This is under roof storage, lots of storage space here. And we turn the corner and we have the bedroom on this side. And you can see this is just really beautiful angled ceilings with these massive timber beams. The revealed brick for the roof, and just a very spacious bedroom area with a double exposure to the sun on both sides, because we have a window over there, we have a small window over here, and we even have a little corner nook where if you didn't want to use a big cabinet like this, you can probably set up, with beams or things like that, or rods, like a hanger system, or kind of a semi-walk-in closet space over there. I also like the antique necchi, kind of like the the old sewing systems when you were repairing your clothing that you'd be using on the countryside. You snag a thorn, you fix it up here on your sewing system. But this is property number 1, apartment number 1. We'll walk back down here and we'll see that the apartment number 2 is just as beautiful. Similar style. And like I said, there's ways of joining them if you wanted them to be one. So let's go to the other one. All right, come down the stairs, past your cantine, and these are the stairs going up to property number 2 through this way. Okay, apartment number 2, and we start off with a similar kind of layout of you walk in and you have this kitchen area, nice sink, and this nice feature of you can wash your dishes and be distracted by the beautiful green surrounding the property. So also really nice furniture in the property. So this typical kind of wooden feature where you would be hanging your pots and pans. The pots and pans are modern, but the actual little piece of furniture there on the wall isn't. So this here is the living room, like on the other side. And so, like I said, for the other side here is where we have our couch, a big, nice, formal dining table. And the characteristics here too are very nice. You have the wooden beams, the bricks. Something interesting that I like, I think it gives the room character, is the way they've sloped up the this part of the ceiling, because obviously on the other side is where you have stairs, I believe. But it adds a little bit of visual interest to the room. It's quirky, but it's I think it's charming. And it's just a big space, right? So, I mean, they currently have this big piece of furniture here, but, you know, there's enough room to have kind of a sitting area and also a dining area. Also windows looking out onto the front on that side. And we'll come back out here and I'll show you what we have this way. So like the other side, you have heating via radiators, and we have a nice big bathroom here as well with the boiler, full shower, sink, everything here, and including the nice ceilings. So full bathroom. And from there, we can go up the stairs. And it brings us to the top floor like we saw on that other property, on the other apartment rather. This is some nice closet space that we have here. Built-in storage, let's call it. And once again, just a really beautiful, charming bedroom with the slanted ceilings. The kind of repeating beams gives you really nice geometrical views of a ceiling, which just provides so much character to the space. Here's where you have your bed, and once again, dual windows on 2 sides, so you have also lots of light coming in. You open up your windows and you can look out and see immediately the green and your olive grove out back. So this is property number 1.
Cavatelli fatti in casa, crema di melanzane, salsa di pomodoro e mozzarella.
So our first dish has come out, cavatelli, which is a pasta of a Puglian origin, perfect for the summer, very simple. You don't want a big heavy ragu, at least I wouldn't when you're in this hot weather, something light. And this goes well with the white wine. So cavatelli is so good. It's one of my favorite types of pasta, up there with orecchiette, because it has this chewiness. And it's not the same type of chewiness that you get with dried pasta. It is a fresh pasta made just with flour and with water, no eggs involved. So I feel like this is one of the most stereotypical Italian dishes that you can get. Pasta, tomatoes, and cheese. So simple, but so good when the ingredients are right. As I work on this, let's go see that second home for sale. Okay, this is the home now. As you can see, 3 levels. It's the full home. We're on the corner of this little street of a country village, and it's very quaint, I must say. We have a summer atmosphere. Asking price for the home is 185,000 euros. It's about 102 square meters of space inside, but it's not only the home, we also have other elements which I want to show. So over on this side, this is a tavern space. So it doesn't occupy the whole property. Let's say the whole property doesn't belong to this house, in other words, The tractor side is of a neighbor, and then this side is yours. And it's just a beautiful rustic space where you can have an inside bar, tables, chairs, and enjoy that kind of area there. This is an old tractor. Maybe you can ask the neighbor if you can go for a ride, make friends with him. He'll show you how to harvest olive trees and grapes. But so this is the home here on the corner. This is a common space for the village, and the garden which belongs to the property is over here. So once you get to this spot here, this is your garden. You can already see vines growing up it of grapes. But you walk up these stairs. The grass does have to be cut, but it goes all the way back. You have around 30 olive trees, which are your own, and you harvest the olives and you can make olive oil. So this is olive oil territory here in Tuscany, and it's a very common thing to do, especially when you have 500 square meters of space. You grow olives. But it's not only that, you do have a bit of storage space for tools. And this really picturesque corner, this gazebo with the vines growing on it, letting in this kind of like green light. The grapes are growing. The grapes won't be ready for another few months, but just a great picnic area. You know, you sit down with your family and friends at the end of the day and you have a nice dinner. And you even have a stove here to grill things. So you put them on the piastra, it's called in Italian. You light it up underneath and you can grill some fish if you like fish or meat. We're right in the Val di Piana, and so lots of beef comes from here. And we'll head back down. And I'll show you this other facade. So you can see there's an entrance going up to the first floor as well. Really beautiful structure, all in stone and brick, and just a really quaint village atmosphere. This isn't an abandoned village. This is a very active village where, in addition to the villagers living here, you also have some Airbnbs and a bit of an international presence among the residents. So just a quaint space. We'll enter in on the ground floor and I'll show you guys all the way up. Okay, so we're in this country home, which is developed over 3 different levels. This is the ground floor. We have a first floor and then a floor up top. You can see we have this nice beautiful arch separating the space down here. This is your living room. It's also the coolest room during the summer, being on the ground floor. And it's very spacious. You can see we have the characteristics that we had in that other home and that you'll find typically in these Tuscan country homes. The beams, the cotto floors, lots of wood, antique furniture, and a nice old country vibe, let's call it. So we'll go up the stairs. The stairs are also very nice, the wrought iron. We have these very nice stone steps with some revealed details of stone and some bricks here on the side, all very nice. And it brings us up to the first level, and this first level is our kitchen, dining room, and we even have another space on that side. So it is a fully completed kitchen. This property, as well as being an old property, was renovated very recently, and so everything it's turnkey. You can use it as is, as your country home. I must say, this is something you don't feel from the video, but you have some really nice sense in here. A sense of the country air, but also of a rustic fireplace. And this is definitely one of the centerpieces of this property, the hearth of the home. This is an old fireplace. So this is a very old property, and this is something very traditional, and you can see that the bigger they are, usually the older they are, and the more important the property was, that it was almost built around, it seems like. So this is that pot that I was talking to you about before. So you just hang the pot, you boil under it, you can make a nice stew or soup, things like that. Beautiful trimmings around in a stone, kind of the same stone that's used on the stairs is used throughout the property. And so as a color palette in these Tuscan country homes, you have the red of brick, the red of the floors with this dark brown wood and with this gray of the stone. These are the three main elements. And then of course you have the whites of the walls. In this case we have the Mona Lisa, which, you know, the Louvre has the fake one. This is the real one. You also have here, before I move on, a door, a balcony, so you have another entrance coming up this way. And a sink here for all-purpose needs. And then we'll make our way up the stairs, and this will bring us up to that third level. Once again, beautiful stairway, really high ceilings coming up here. This feels almost medieval. The wrought iron design on these stairs are amazing. These steps. And then that brings us into this corridor. So the corridor, they've occupied it with these kind of bunk beds, which works if you wanted to have an extra kind of sleeping space. But this can be used for various purposes because the main bedroom is that way. First, I'll show you the bathroom. So it is a big bathroom. You also have a beautiful, beautiful view looking out onto the green. You can see the hills of the Val di Chio and just the village life taking place below at a slow pace. And around the corners where you have the rest of the bathroom behind the door here. Complete bathroom, high ceilings, wooden beams, just really nice. And coming back out, this is the bedroom now, coming this way. Beautiful antique furniture. These were made by artisans, woodworkers back in the day. And I always love finding pieces like this just because, you know, you see the little designs etched into them. And they're all done by hand, carved minutiously. So really, really beautiful. And here we have a view out onto that tractor out front. We're at the corner of the property, so we have this wooden beam kind of coming into the corner and then the two other ones joining it, and you can see just kind of how these roofs are actually built. And your bed. So guys, this is property number 2.
Eccoci qua, vitello di chianina, salsa tonnata e verdurine fresche.
Oh, so we have an excellent second course here today, vitello tonnato. So this is a typical dish from Piemonte, but by now it's spread across the Italian peninsula and it's eaten everywhere, especially in the summertime. So this is a thinly sliced chianina beef with summer vegetables, a bit of olive oil.
The meat is very tender. The sauce, tonnato, because there's tuna in it. And you're enjoying it on the sunset looking at the Val di Piana. Not much better than this. So let's go see that third dream home for sale.
Okay, so guys, you might recognize this palazzo behind me if you've been following me and watching all of my videos. In the first episode I did in Castiglione Fiorentino, we visited a home on this top floor, a beautiful apartment. That's been sold, so I'm not showing you that. I'm showing you the neighbor's apartment, which is also now for sale. That one was a 1-bedroom. This one is a 2-bedroom. The asking price of the property is 310,000 euros. Bit of negotiability there, but it's a 120 square meter, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom with an outdoor terrace. So something very special. This is a palazzo from the 1700s. Some say it belonged to the Jesuits, some say to a different religious order, some say to a noble family, but you can see insignia when you're walking up the stairs. In any case, I'm going to take you up there. Last tour of the day. Let's go check it out. All right, so you may have recognized the staircase. We're in the same floor of the same palazzo from the 1700s of that other apartment, one of the first ones I've shown you in Castiglione Fiorentino from that last video. So let's talk about this one though. These are stairs going up to the bedrooms, so you have access that way. But first I want to show you the living spaces to give you an idea of what we have on our hands here. It is an apartment with noble origins, and you can notice that immediately by how high the ceilings are. These are 5-meter high ceilings, vaulted pavilion style, and they've done a wonderful, wonderful renovation with the space. You can already see with the borders going around, you have illumination coming up, just giving the ceiling a bit of an emphasis. And here, the living room. So very big, very spacious. On this side, with such high ceilings, you have a library reaching up to the top with storage space there, illuminated shelves for your books, and even a ladder coming back and forth, and plenty of space to kind of work on your design, interior design skills, right? And you have bathroom. So beautiful travertine countertops, which we have here in the bathroom, but also in the kitchen. On this side, we have a very nice, spacious shower. It takes up the whole wall here, rectangular, and so very big shower. And on this side, we have the toilet with the heating towel rack and even some storage space here. So very nice, big bathroom. Coming this way is where we have the dining room kitchen, and it is quite the kitchen. We have an island. We have an Italian kitchen with an island. When you have space like this with an island, it's a rare find. So same travertine tops that we had in the bathroom we have here for the island and for the countertop here of your working space in your kitchen. So beautiful faucets as well, really big sinks. You have a 5-burner stove here, and all of the appliances are SMIG. So high quality appliances, the stove top, dishwasher, and also the combo is always very nice of the oven and the microwave. Beautiful illumination here as well. We have this side is where, currently you have a dining table space, and I want to show you also all of the heating, and the radiators are new as well. This one is very intelligently taking up a corner space in the room. Very well done. And you can already see behind me, we have outdoor space. So in a historical center with outdoor space, it's another one of these beautiful features which I consider a find, right? So you have your tables out here, you have beautiful doors letting in lots of light via the windows, and yeah, you don't find this in a lot of apartments for sure, especially within Italian city centers. So this is quite the benefit. You can actually go up the stairs this way to the bedroom, but I'm going to take you back around. And here we have the main entrance into the bedroom. That's nice when if you wake up, you walk down the bedroom stairs and you want to go outside and get your first dose of vitamin D of the day, you can do that. But I think normally if you're like in the living room and you come up to your bedroom, you would come up this way. Beautiful stone stairs. You can see the walls have all been painted in a beautiful soft palette. Here's that door going down the stairs. Nice TV here. And this is the space that we have. It's kind of been done in a like an Art Nouveau style, turn of the century, with the wooden panels on the walls with lots of built-in cabinet space. So that's kind of the theme of the apartment. They've done it very well. You have AC in all of the rooms as well. We still have the wooden beams with the brick ceilings, but they've been painted to be in tune with the rest of the space. But I mean, just the use of the space, having the walls built in like this, it really optimizes the use of the use of all of the corners, right? Walking this way, this is the suite. So first, you have a walk-in kind of closet space, under ceiling storage there. Always nice to have. Keep your vacuum cleaners and the stuff you don't want to be seen, you throw it all in there. And we have a nice deep bathroom of the same quality of that other one. So travertine countertops, this beautiful basin bowl, and a wonderful mirror. They have great mirrors in these bathrooms in this home, just so wide. It starts here. This has got to be like a 2-meter wide mirror. It's spectacular, and a custom shower. In these old homes, you don't have right angles. Everything is organic angles, and so it kind of goes around the corner here and occupies that whole space intelligently. But I'll come back out this way and show you. I mean, even here you have this built-in. This goes back into the wall, and you can store things there. It's just really nice. It's currently being used as a B&B, but I always envision these spaces that I show you as places to be lived in. And so it's still a very livable apartment. Here we have more closets on this side and these nice wooden stairs coming up. This is a very cozy spot here. I think intelligently they put these nice glass dividers here, these glass barriers. So light comes through. It doesn't close off the space when you're opening up, when you come up the stairs. And you have this kind of studio area. So you can have your workspace here. You sit down, edit your videos, respond to emails that way. And then you walk up the stairs and you come up and you have this kind of loft duplex area. Here they have, 2 beds set up here. Also a window that you can open up remotely. You don't have to reach over and get that. There's a remote control, so it all does it remotely. And this is just a very cozy spot. This is one of the examples of a renovation done well, like that other apartment we saw in Castiglione Fiorentino, the last episode. Very high caliber renovation has been done. Very practical home, and I think it's perfect for somebody who wants something key in hand. You don't have to do anything. You're in the center of Castiglione Fiorentino, which has a train station, it has a hospital, it has everything that a lot of people who want to live in these homes and places have asked for. And so you can live your life by foot in a home like this. So guys, I really hope you like this episode. Comment below, like, subscribe, check out my Patreon to see my home renovation if you haven't yet. Thank you all to my Patreon members. Check out our Instagram if you haven't yet. We're posting extra content there as well. And where do you want me to go next time? Ciao, guys.